Hey guys, I wanted to do what's hopefully a fairly quick review of Hitbox's Smashbox controller, which I have right here. And this is a little different from my usual content, but I do play Melee as sort of, a casual competitive player, kind of in that middle ground. Um, I like to say I'm good enough to, beat anyone who doesn't play Melee competitively, but I'm bad enough to lose to almost anyone who does. So, I like watching the game a lot. Favorite players probably Zane, Mango, and None. And, it's one of those things where, I like watching it. And because I like watching it, I also like playing it on occasion. So, this is my assessment of the controller after, I don't know, I think a little over a week or so after getting it. So keep in mind, I'm not grinding this game, 3-4 hours a day. I've maybe played, on the Smashbox controller for maybe 10 hours. So my main motive for getting it is, quality, I think. The fact that the Nintendo original controllers, for me at least, and again, this is someone who doesn't even play a lot, but for me, they would break after, I don't know, maybe a year to a year and a half. With the last controller that I have sitting over there, after a certain point, like the R button stopped working, so it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to use this anymore. So I decided, you know what, screw it. I'll get a Smashbox controller, see if it's any better. And initially the motive was, I was hoping it would make some techniques easier for me. Like the controller that I had, like couldn't shield drop well. And, what some people do is they just order a bunch of controllers and test them to figure out which is the good one. But rather than that, I figured I'd, get one of these Smashbox controllers, which doesn't really have like the same variants of quality that the Nintendo controllers have, right? If the controller should either be good or not good, right? It shouldn't depend on like, what month you ordered it in. So that was kind of the idea here. So I will say, first and foremost, for me, like almost all of the value that I get out of this controller, I'd say like 60% of the value comes from the fact that you can remap buttons. So this is the default layout here, and I'll load the layout that I have. So yeah, so it loads how I have my buttons mapped, and I haven't changed a ton. I changed the where the C stick buttons are. In particular, I have C stick up on the home row here, and that's because you use it for a lot of things. Like yeah, you use it for up smash, yeah, you use it for up air, but you can also use it to buffer jump out of shields, and you also on the original controller, I wasn't able to jump cancel up smash that well, but I figured by putting it on the home row here, I could use my index finger to jump and then my pinky finger to up smash. And yeah, it turns out that works pretty well. Um, and here I have, I use R and Y to wave dash, right? So that's why those are together. And then I have B next to those, so I could shine and then wave dash out of it, and then yeah, I kind of here on the home row I have kind of the buttons that I would use out of like a run or a dash dance. So if I want to do, I don't know, dash dance and then jump aerial, okay, well that's AX. If I wanted to, dash dance and then grab someone, well okay, a jump cancel grab would be XZ. And then if I, wanted to dash dance and then whiff punish something with a up smash, okay, well then that's X C stick up. That's kind of the idea here. And then I threw in this light shield button, which I don't really use too much, just kind of in case. Now I will say for me at least, the main thing that I don't like about this controller, and this is like probably my fault, not the controller's fault. My thumbs aren't very precise. I'm not used to sort of like moving my thumb around to press buttons like that. So for me at least, my thumb is naturally resting on, this button here, which I've mapped to L, and then this button here, which I've mapped to C stick down. So yeah, I move it around a bit. Like I can move it here. These are sort of tilt modifiers. And then obviously here we've got, some more C-stick commands, right next to each other here. So yeah, for me at least, I find it difficult to kind of like move my thumb around and press other buttons. Just, I don't know, maybe it's just because the way my hands are. Maybe I just need to use it more and develop that muscle memory. But yeah, so that's my assessment there. You'll also notice here that you can plug in a nunchuck and use that instead of these buttons to move around. So I did test that. I actually have the nunchuck right here, so you can plug it in and use that instead if you want to. And it does make it easier to do like Firefox angles for spacies particularly. But in my opinion, that's like the only advantage of using the nunchuck. And even with spacies, I think you're still better off just using, the digital buttons rather than the analog, the analog joystick. So that's my opinion at least. So real briefly, I'd like to demo me doing some, just some basic advanced techniques. I guess that's an oxymoron. Is there such thing as a basic advanced technique? All right, so let me. I don't know. We'll do this, and we'll do battlefield. So yeah, so right off the bat, one thing that I like is how easy it is to shield drop. I mean, you'll see it's literally trivial. Like on a normal controller, you have to like practice it or get notches or something. Here, it's literally trivial. So I just use my thumb here to press shield, and then I use my pinky to press the tilt modifier. So I go shield, tilt, down, right? Shield, tilt, down. And if I do shield down without tilting, well, then we get a spot dodge. But, as long as we're holding the tilt modifier, we get it every time. It's literally impossible to mess up because I've taken that tilt modifier and mapped it to the perfect shield drop angle. And I just did that through trial and error. Maybe there's like a guide on the best way to map buttons, but I just did it through trial and error. And I will say, on day one of getting the new controller, the first thing that I practiced was dash dancing. And for me, at least, I've noticed almost immediate improvement in the precision of my dash dances. So we can do like, a minimum dash dance here like this. We can do a, maximum length dash dance like this. We can even sort of use it to approach like that, right? Say there's someone standing on the right, and we can, sort of do that. So my dash dance game immediately improved. I was definitely hitting my jump cancel up smashes like way more. On the original controller, I'd say maybe in training I could hit it half the time, and then in game probably like a quarter of the time on my original controller. But here, of course I messed it up the first time. But yeah, I find it pretty easy. So I've definitely, it's funny. Historically I've mained Fox, Falco, and Marth, and part of the reason that I switched off Fox was I was like, well, I can't hit these jump cancel up smashes, and that's like really important for Fox. So like maybe I should try a different character. But now I can just hit them, basically every time. I missed a couple there, but let's see if we can do, yeah. So yeah, I don't do shine up smash very much. That's kind of a situational technique, but we can even do that. Shine grab though, pretty important, and I can hit those pretty consistently as well. Although, I mean, I could before, so really no difference there. I still need to work on my jump cancel grabs in general. Really what I'd have to say here is, I thought like, oh, I'm gonna, just master the box like, very quickly. But in reality, I think it's kind of difficult because you basically have to relearn all that muscle memory. Like, there's no way to hack that. Like, you just have to sit there and practice it. So, here I'm using, my index finger and my ring finger together to do a jump cancel grab. And that obviously wasn't what I was doing on a normal controller. So I kind of have to, relearn that muscle memory. But, we can also do, shine, wave dash down. That's fairly, trivial. Because, here, If I bring up the mapping again, it doesn't come up. Yeah, because you can't really minimize the game easily. But basically, I had the B button, and then a jump button, and then, a shield button all right next to each other. So you just kind of press them in sequence like that. So that's basically the motion that I'm doing here. I'm just going, okay, shine, jump, and then, wave dash. And obviously, wave dashing down is a lot easier because I already have to press down to use shine, right? Because that's down B. So this is, yeah, I mean, this is pretty trivial. I can't really double shine yet. Although I mean, I don't think that's like super important. Maybe at higher levels it is. But we can shine grab. I do shine grabs in game a fair bit. It's pretty important. And then we can always just shine wave dash. And doing an angled wave dash is, yeah, it's a little harder. And again, this is all relearning muscle memory. On my original controller, I was definitely able to do like a shine wave dash and do some sort of punish, shine wave dash grab, for example. Here it's, there we go. That was a pretty crispy one. So yeah, it's just something that I need to practice more. But that's kind of the idea. Practices ledge dashes a little. I mean, we'll see if I can get them or not. Now that I'm trying to record it, of course I'll probably fuck it up. So yeah, so the timing's off there. That time I almost got one. All right, not quite. Might be able to do Firefox stalls. Oh no. All right, well, of course, some of the newer stuff that I've been practicing, I'm not able to do. Probably because I'm nervous recording it. But yeah, that's kind of a basic example here. Also, I know this is kind of weird, but even relearning the timing for like L canceling was pretty hard for me. Even now, I'm definitely L canceling, a lot. When it flashes red, that's me missing an L cancel, and I'm definitely missing way more of those than I used to. And it's interesting because there's a lot of ways that I could be L canceling. I could use L, R, or Z. And I ended up using R, which is right above the jump button. So, I'll use index finger to jump, A to throw out, like a nair, and then I'll just move my index finger up to hit the R button. And for me, that was the one that worked best. I could use Z too, so let's... Whoops, let's... So there, I used Z a couple of times. Once I hit it, the other times I missed it. Hold on, let's go to FD here. But yeah, sometimes, the L cancel timing is slightly different depending on if you, whiff or hit someone with it. And, sometimes I've been missing my short hop, which is why I'm missing it there. If I intentionally full hop, I'll hit my L cancel. Well, not that time. So let's... Oh. There we go. So it's that time I hit the L cancel after hitting Peach. Well, that time I edge canceled. So let's get in the center here. So, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to nair her, and then I'm going to L cancel it, and then, we're going to combo that into a shine. So let's, whoops. Let's try that. Whoop. I'm actually not trying to drill. It's because I'm holding down at the wrong timing. I'm trying to throw out a nair and then hit down. There we go. So yeah, again, that's even basic things like that. It's like, yeah, I need to go back and practice it if I want to consistently do it, because sometimes I'll throw out the wrong aerial. Sometimes I'll accidentally full hop. Obviously, Fox has he has a 3-frame jump squat, so hitting all the short hops isn't exactly easy. And sometimes I get drill instead of nair to come out. So yeah, I mean, overall, my thoughts on the controller are definitely positive. Already I feel like there's certain techniques that I'm just able to do more consistently than I was on an original controller. I feel like the build quality is pretty good. Honestly, the main issues I'm having, well, one's a personal problem, which is that I need to get the muscle memory back, by essentially relearning which buttons to press. So that's obviously not the controller's fault. That's my fault. I do feel like, I don't know, for me at least, with my hands, I don't like the placement of these sort of lower buttons where I'm using my thumbs. I feel like I don't know. Again, I don't have a lot of precision with my thumb. Moving my thumb around to sort of hit these other buttons feels awkward, but we what can you do? So yeah, I mean, overall my impressions are positive, and I think sort of my perspective as someone who's like not really a great player, I feel like it helps people like me a lot. Whereas I noticed, like, with Leffen's review, for example, he kind of acted like, the impression that I got from him is he's like, yeah, these controllers are pretty sick, but like, I'm already, a top 5 player in the world, so, is it really going to help me to have to relearn all that muscle memory? So yeah, I mean, and I kind of agree with his assessment there. I feel like if you're already like really good, having to sort of go back and relearn everything will probably feel like a pretty big hill to climb. But as someone like me who like just is kind of just getting into it, I feel like it kind of will help me get a leg up. And yeah, I feel like the money's well worth it. Like, the controller is $200, but in particular, the ability to remap buttons is like just so huge for me that I think it's well worth the money. So yeah, that wraps it up here. Take care, guys.